Hello, good evening, and welcome back. Essex lorry deaths. Work starts to identify 39 bodies. So, this is recent news. They said that they found a shipping container on a lorry, opened up the back of it, and there are 39 dead people in the back. And so they're trying to identify who it is. It's driven by an Irishman. The lorry's registered in Bulgaria. So, Bulgaria says it's highly unlikely that they are Bulgarians. And you might think 39 people. That is quite a lot. That's about as large as a large classroom, if you will, or a small workforce. Okay, but to put that into perspective, if we look at how many people come in per year, it's just over 600,000. If we look at net migration, so exclude the people who are leaving, subtract that, then it's just over 220,000, which means net migration, and this is just, let's take this to be legal, then you've got this many people coming in about every 2 hours. So that's 12 lorry loads, if you will, if you can measure people in lorry loads per day. Or if you were to say illegal, that number, it's an astonishing 150,000, which is to say that the amount of illegal migrants entering the UK is at this many every 3 hours. That is to say that if they were to all enter illegally onto lorries, then every 3 hours you get another one coming across, which again is remarkably high. So obviously 39 deaths, well, that's terrible, and this kind of thing should never happen. But seeing as it does, to put it into perspective of how many people are coming across, it's absolutely minuscule. Seeing as these things happen every few years as well, then you could almost get this up into the millions, or at the very least hundreds of thousands, compared to then a few dozen people who have died. So with that in mind, 0.1%, even that, well, yeah, okay. Considering illegal immigration is a very dangerous business, especially considering some of the countries you go to obviously not that welcoming either, and therefore you have to keep going through them. That prolongs your journey, so we're not even including the deaths there. Then yes, it is an extraordinarily dangerous journey. So if you wish to have fewer people dying on the way, then just let them know that they won't be welcome there. How about that? And of course, yesterday's video about Shamima Begum saying can't go to Bangladesh because she'll be hanged. So I see that's quite a good deterrent, in which case she won't try to make the journey, and therefore won't be hurt in the process of trying to get there, if you will. Of illegal immigrants trying to get into America from the southern border, 3/4 of the women are sexually assaulted or raped in their journey. 3/4. I mean, it's sickening. But if you want to talk about that you've got a kind of climate of rape, then you can just look down there. So reading on. They say police have begun the process of trying to identify 39 bodies found in a refrigerated lorry trailer in Essex. The trailer arrived in Purfleet on the River Thames from Zeebrugge, Belgium, at around midnight British summertime. Ambulance staff discovered the bodies in the unit just over an hour later at Waterglade Industrial Park in Grays. The reasons wouldn't have been done earlier is that there is not enough security at the ports. In fact, there have been people quoted to say that they are resourced to fail, that they are so understaffed, under-resourced, that they cannot be expected to keep up with the amount of crime, including illegal immigration, that is happening. So this is actual people moving about that they then can't keep track of. That is how understaffed they are, and how willing people are to come to the UK. On top of that, of course, you have the lack of enforcement at all to try and deport these people. And I'm not nearly suggesting we go as far as Bangladesh to say that illegal immigrants should be hanged. If you wish to say that all cultures are beautiful, then I'll leave that for you to decide, but I don't think so. It's just basically close the borders, send the people back, and if people wish to come over, be part of our once great nation, and participate in our culture, then yes, by all means, come over and join in. Don't try and create your own colonies and sneak in doing so. It's like almost like a Trojan horse, if you will. So we have the photo of the gentleman here, the lorry driver, who's been named locally as Mo Robinson from Northern Ireland. they've yet to inculcate him in actually being part of the crime committed. Of course, it's very likely that he knew what was going on, but it isn't a guarantee that he knew what he was transporting. So they say police said the tractor unit, the front part of the lorry, came from Northern Ireland and picked up the trailer from Purfleet. The tractor and trailer then left the port shortly after 1:05, and officers were called around 30 minutes later when ambulance staff made the grim discovery. Police have appealed for witnesses and anyone with information about the lorry's route to contact them. And the NCA said it had sent officers to assist and identify any organised crime groups who may have played a part. But at this point, surely it's too large because there are too many holes that you're going to have to really have an overthrow of the system in order to try and prevent these things from happening. When you get to a point like this, it's so expensive to let people stay that it turns out to be cheaper, in the long run at least, in order to enforce harder borders. If you wish to get to some statistics, then of course we can use migrationwatchuk.org, which suggests each additional person staying on cost the taxpayer between £4,000 and £8,000 per year through the use of public services such as health, education and welfare benefits. So again, it's obviously not just the use of people getting in the way and us not having nearly enough infrastructure to deal with a sudden influx of people, and therefore it brings down the quality of living for everybody, but it is also just payment to these people that is also obviously a net negative. And then if you wish to look into, well, how much do people need to be earning before they're paying tax, and then the amount of contribution they need to be making, it gets remarkably higher, and the Academic Agent has made an extensive video into this. Then you can see, well yes, then that is very much a blunt cost and it doesn't include enough, in which case you can definitely increase that, considering you have to be making tens of thousands to be a net contributor in the UK, and also considering, at least on income tax, that half of the population aren't paying it. Then again you can say, well, I see, well, it seems like the cost of living isn't really that bad, and it seems as if capitalism has worked its magic in order to create such an abundance of wealth for so many people, which has of course then led to so many people being obese. So, seeing these videos have overrun, let's wrap this up. There's just a brief overview of where they came from, where they went. Johnson spoke out about it, yeah, but you're not actually reducing numbers, so I don't care if you're virtue signalling. Yes. Oh, it's bad. Is it really bad? Oh, who could have thought? And then we go into some other examples that they say in 2014 an Afghan migrant was found dead. Okay, 34 Afghans who survived. Shipping container. 2050, sorry, a year later, 2 migrants found dead in a wooden crate in a warehouse. They're from Italy. 2016, 18-year-old migrant was crushed. 2016 again, body was found in the back of a lorry in Kent, which had travelled from France. So these numbers aren't that high, and they say in 2000, 58 Chinese migrants were found suffocated to death in a lorry at Dover. So these high-profile events, as I say, happen at this rate then every 2 decades, but of course they're becoming more frequent, considering in the past few decades, since 1972 I believe, if you take the average from then till now, compare that to just last year's figures of illegal immigration, the average is half what it was last year, so it is increasing exponentially quickly. They say in 2015, the bodies of 71 people were found in an abandoned lorry on an Austrian motorway. Police suspected the vehicle was part of a Bulgarian-Hungarian human trafficking operation. So, we'll finish off with the British Red Cross, which I think has good intentions, but they're maybe misled at the moment. They're not heading where they should be going. Has confirmed staff and volunteers were helping those dealing with this terrible tragedy. But again, if you want to do the kindest thing, then discourage people from coming over in the first place. Lawrence Adden's Borderless documentary has gone into detail on this, saying the NGO is kind of forming with the human traffickers, and then encouraging people to take these dangerous trips, and then the migrants who arrive, she shows their side of the story as well, to say, well, they're not getting nearly as much as they were promised, and so they feel terrible and would love to go home, but no, they can't, they're stuck here. And so it's just a bad deal for everybody. So at the very least, be honest, and if you wish to do more than that, then of course discourage people from coming over here. But anyway, that's it for me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Always interested to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching, as always, for your continued support. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. As always, have the wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you next time.